Hello, hi.
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 Happy Monday.
You.
Or Tuesday if you're in like New Zealand or Australia.
Right, and if you're in New Zealand, Australia, you don't care about this talk because it doesn't deal with winter. You guys are in summer right now, so they're good.
Well, they still have winter.
Yeah, but they don't care about it right now. They're getting their tans on.
Good for them.
Good for them. So, welcome.
Welcome
To our coffee talk. I'm John.
I'm Whitney.
And we're here to talk to you today about the
Handheld penetrometer.
It's not what we're talking about. Give her one chance. So,
You said the, so I felt like you were alluding to me saying that. I felt like you wanted me to say that, right? Don't you think, Patchouli?
Yes.
We're here to talk about the hydronic temperature controlled system, a very specific portion of it, and it deals with winter. This is my favorite time of year to place concrete because it's one of the most difficult times to place concrete. And Patchouli asked a question. Do you remember what your question was, Patchouli?
Does anybody actually ever place concrete in the cold?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's places like Alaska.
Right?
They got no choice. You know, the Arctic or Antarctica.
That's true.
They have to place, you know, or
because it's always snowy and cold there.
Or close to the circle. It's pretty. You go to northern Canada and you have to place. So the question was, can you place concrete in the cold?
Yes.
First of all, what do we define cold as?
Fair question.
Fair question. What is our datum?
Generally, you like to be between 60 and 75, I would say, is the ideal range for placing concrete.
Okay, so can you place concrete in freezing or below freezing?
Yes.
Right. How do you do that? You know, what are the things that you have to be aware of and to be prepared for?
Sure. You have to adjust the mix because when it's that cold, a lot of times the mix will fall asleep.
Right.
Or at least for some period of time.
So every concrete mix has an activation energy, a certain energy that it needs to set off the thermokinetic system and hydration. If you get below a certain temperature,
This keeps the coffee really hot, and I forget sometimes.
So if you reduce the temperature to the point where the activation energy, or the concrete loses its energy to get to that activation point, then like Whitney said, the concrete will fall asleep. So the first thing that you could do is chemically enhance the mix or put hot water in the mix. So
chemical enhancements, you're going to add some sort of like accelerator.
Sodium nitrate, calcium chloride, sodium thiocyanate, you know, any type of accelerator, any type of salt will do it. Half a percent all the way up to 4% we've seen.
Depending on how
anywhere
aggressively
between
you need to kick it off.
6 ounces per hundredweight to 48. I've worked with stuff at 163.5 ounces per hundredweight where we had to use a fire hose system to get the accelerator in there, and then heating the water, just having a boiler at the ready mix plant and putting hot water in. So that's the first two things you could do. Years ago when I was a younger man in a different place, we used to torch the forms.
Did you?
And the rebar.
Wow.
Because if you heat those,
then it's getting the activation energy from it.
Well, it's maintaining the energy or the temperature that you have in the truck to allow that energy to take off.
Okay, sure.
Then what you can do is you can blanket it and you could heat it and blanket it the night before.
Right.
And we're going to be doing that here in a little bit. And then just blanket it. Or, you can roll your chances and just use standard concrete and blanket it and hope for the best. That's always the option.
And plenty of people do that.
Plenty of people do that. But yeah, it's not really hard to place concrete in below freezing temperatures. You just have to be prepared for it. You know, I think it is a very difficult thing to do to place concrete in the cold.
Right.
And just like it's very difficult to place it in extreme heat. But it's not impossible to place it in the cold.
You just need to adjust accordingly.
Adjust accordingly, be prepared.
Be flexible.
And experiment with these new mixes.
Right.
Especially when it's 9 degrees out if the ready mix provider is still open.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of them probably.
Some of them aren't.
Right. Aren't
going to be open, but the ones who normally get out concrete for the DOTs, those larger commercial projects will be open.
Sure.
And they'll have these higher end concretes now cost money
to still place during this.
to still place, and that's something that has to be put back on the end user.
Sure.
You know, if the timeline is important and you can showcase that you are the only contractor who is willing to place no matter the temperature.
Right.
So let us know if you have any questions. This week we're focusing on hydronic temperature controlling, and like Whitney said, the folks in New Zealand and Australia would care about hydronic temperature controlling because it's heat or cold.
Right.
So let us know if there's any concerns, and yeah, go concrete.
Beat asphalt.
Have a good one.